You can't go somewhere. It's up to us to find them.
It's a big evening for Frank Lampard. It's a big evening as well for Everton, looking for their first win of this Premier League season at their fifth time of asking. Just the one change then, as we've heard, he's not given too much away with the system, as we heard, Leon. But Tom Davies comes in for a centre-half, Mason Holgate. That suggests a change in system, but how are you reading it?
It could go either way. Through pre-season, Everton did try and play a back four, and they were relatively unsuccessful with it. Found it difficult to keep clean sheets. Bringing in Conor Cody, who's a specialist, to play in a back three as well. You'd probably think Everton would adopt that kind of system. Alex Iwobi's played so many positions for Everton already in his career. But as you can see, they could quite comfortably drop Mikalenko back, so Patterson across, be a back four at any moment of the game, and I'm sure that's the kind of option that Frank Lampard will try and make sure that he retains throughout the game.
It's been a tough summer transfer window for Everton, and of course there's still questions about Anthony Gordon. We'll get to that in a second. But I just wonder, Leon, from you, who wears Everton quite high up on his sleeve, does this tough start, is it your worst realisations come to fruition?
I wouldn't say worst realisations. It's been a difficult start, losing at home to Chelsea on the opening day of the season. That can go anywhere. You hope that you can start the season well against one of the top teams. You're expecting to beat newly promoted teams at home in Nottingham Forest. And this will be another challenge again tonight. Everton, having drawn two, lost two of their opening four, need to get their first victory. The derby against Liverpool is just around the corner. So it's a big night for Everton. They've had to manage without a striker all this season. Brought in Mopay, but he's unavailable for tonight. So there's a lot of expectation on Anthony Gordon, on Demarai Gray, on Dwight McNeil to play right up top, to do that role that they're not accustomed to doing. So there has been reasons why Everton have had a slow start, and I'm being kind there, but they need to start getting themselves up.
I'm worried for Everton. I am, because I think they're a good team, but I think last year they relied heavily upon being at Goodison Park at home, the fans and that type of stuff. But for me, Richarlison being able to leave in the way that he left and they just let him go so easily was surprising to me, because they need goals. Mopay is a decent player, but he's not the type of centre forward that's going to get you double digits each season. I could be wrong, but that's what it was like at Brighton, and I think that's why they allowed him to leave in the way that they did. So I worry for Everton, because Dwight McNeil's come in there, hasn't really done as great as he probably could have done. It is early days, but Anthony Gordon, there's been a lot of speculation around him, and he's a fantastic player. And if they do end up losing him, because if Chelsea do want to play, they usually go and get them, don't they? If they do end up losing him, I think that's going to be massive, because whenever they have any productivity, I think it comes through him.
Despite all the speculation, how has Anthony Gordon done for you?
He's done very well. Had a terrific season. Last season came in, and it's easier in your first season when people don't know you. They don't know you like to drop into spaces. They don't know that you're good at dribbling with the ball. It's more difficult second season, and yet he started this season as he finished the last. He's happy to drop deep into spaces. He's got good close control. But this is what I want to see more. I want to see him being prepared to turn and run over the top. He's had a bit of joy, nearly got a bit of joy there against the weekend, and this was against Nottingham Forest, where again he's dropping into these spaces. He's got great close control. He can manipulate the ball really quickly. But this is the type of thing he should be doing a lot more. He's got ridiculous pace. I don't know if you realise how quick the young man is. He'd be happy to give anybody a race over the top. He can have his pace. He's got the intelligence to get into those positions. And because of all the speculation he's had to deal with today, to maintain his performances up till this point this season with all the talk around him, it's been impressive.
I think they need to keep him central as well, necessarily scoring goals, coming off. I don't think when he's out wide, I think he gets wasted. I think when he's central, I think Everton are really, really effective, and Dwight McNeil needs to chip in as well, because, like I said, you need to score goals. To stay in the Premier League, you have to score goals, and I don't think any club's too big to go down. There's a lot of talk last year. Everton kind of held on at the end, and, the quality just needs to be a little bit better.
As for Leeds, no doubt Jesse Marsh will be looking for a bit of consistency. The last couple of games have been chalk and cheese. The way they overcame Chelsea was pretty impressive, to say the least. But then they only managed 2 shots on target against Brighton.
Yeah, I saw Jesse Marsh a lot when I lived in America for New York Red Bulls, and I thought he's quite fortunate to get the Leeds job in the first place. But what I liked what he's done, he's had a pre-season with them, brought in Tyler Adams, Aronson as well, players that similar to Conte, bringing Kulusevski and Bentancur, bring in what you know, and we'll develop from there. And I think he's done a really good job, and I think a little bit more respect needs to be put on his name, because when he came in, did that huddle, everybody's saying, well, what is he doing? Well, let the man do his job. He's doing his job to the best of his ability, and it's a massive job coming after Bielsa. I mean, when Bielsa went, everybody, it was almost like Sir Alex Ferguson had retired again. You know, the Leeds fans were going absolutely crazy. So Jesse Marsch has handled the pressure, and hopefully that can continue. But players like Jack Harrison as well, for me, absolutely top players. It's been linked to like going to Spurs, and they need to ultimately keep hold of these types of players.
Okay, well, Leeds against Everton is a big game for Frank Lampard. That game at Ellen Road will be catching the last 20 minutes of that live here on Matchday Live. Before that, we've got a feature game to come from St Mary, Southampton against Chelsea. Let's hear from the respective managers, Thomas Tuchel and Ralph Hasenhüttl.
Well, Ralph, do you feel it's hard to get an accurate gauge of where Chelsea are at right now? Because they've had a bit of a mixed bag of results.
Yeah, there's still a team with a lot of quality, and it's very hard to read what they are doing. And it is a team with a lot of actions was on the transfer market, so a little bit changing now. But a top team in the Premier League.
Well, you've made 2 changes to your starting lineup. Just talk us through thinking behind those.
Yeah, freshen up the group a little bit. We had Musa had a few problems with his hamstring, and tried to don't take the risk in the beginning of the season. So Romeo gets his first game this season, and also for Ibra the first start. So a few fresh players need.
You pushed United all the way and felt like you should have got something for that. Do you feel like you're on the verge of taking points from these big teams?
We try it always. It's always we always the underdog, and last year they smashed us here in the stadium. Chelsea, they were really strong, so we want to let it look a little bit different today.